All right, Coach, thanks for stopping by. I know it's a busy time of year for you, and not that you've had anything going on the past month, but kind of walk me through the steps now as a brand new head coach. You hit the ground running. You've got a target date of signing day before you can really get going on the football side of it. So kind of walk me through the life of the new coach.
Yeah, well, number one, I'm excited to have one full-time job now. I've had two for the last month. And, I'm glad to get here and get started. Today was my first official team meeting, so really it's important to get in front of our players before I hit the road recruiting. And tomorrow I'll get on the road and get in some of the local high schools and really get ready to sign some guys up for this February signing date.
I know I'm sure you got advice and you've seen it happen over the years, but how difficult is it to wear two hats for a couple of weeks? Especially there's so much at stake on one side. You don't want to shortchange what you were doing in Clemson, and then you're like, I gotta get my staff put together here at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely was a challenge. I think the thing that made it work was that Coach Sweeney and the leadership at Clemson was completely on board, and Michael Kelly and the administration at USF, that they were supportive of it. But I did a lot of Clemson work during the day, and I was USF's head coach at night, making phone calls and answering emails and doing those type of things. But, for me, it was really important to finish the right way at Clemson, a place where I'd been for 12 years and so many people that I, came to really get to know and had great relationships with. I wanted to finish the right way with them. So that was nice, but I'm definitely glad to be here and be started.
We talked to a young man during the early signing period, Brian Batty, young man from Sarasota, one of your running backs. Yeah. He said, listen, when the changes all happened, he didn't know what to think. His head was swimming. Yeah. And you guys had a conversation, and he was thrilled to sign with you guys. Do you recall anything you guys talked about? And when you meet somebody who's like, I don't know what I want to do now, what can you say to that type of player?
I think, number one, recruiting is about relationships. A lot of these young men in high school, they had a great relationship with their high school coach, and so they're looking for that in college. And so the first thing is, just being very genuine and introducing myself to that young man and his family, and then sharing my vision and my goals and the reasons that I chose to come down to USF and become the head coach, and really sell them on the vision, the way we're going to be successful, the way we're going to do things, the family atmosphere, the culture, all those things. And, these young men want to be a part of that. I think also there's a lot of interest in South Florida. That's one thing that I've found out from recruiting these last few weeks, is there's a lot of people that want to be a part of the university and what we're going to do moving forward with the football program.
What do you know about the Bulls? How many games have you got a chance to watch now? And there's got to be some things you really like about what you're inheriting on the roster.
I've always had a lot of respect. I still remember I was on the staff at Clemson in 2010 when the Bulls beat us in Charlotte in the Mighty Key Car Care Bowl. And so really I've kind of been watching from afar. I've got a lot of family that's down here in this area. And I've had an opportunity to come down and recruit in this area. And, as a young coordinator, kind of working my way up, knowing that one day I may have a potential to be a head coach. And this was always one of those jobs that was kind of on my short list that I was watching. And then when I learned of Michael Kelly coming to USF as the athletic director, my, knowledge of him and respect for him, just moved USF up a little bit higher. So, I'm really excited about the potential. There's no doubt that there has been success in even a short history of USF football. There's been, some success being number 2 in the country in 2007 and just recently having an 11-win season. But I think for me, it's about putting together a championship program that can be successful year after year, and the consistency, and not just for one great season. And in order to do that, you've got to really have a strong foundation, and that's really what I'm focused on right now.
Just so happens that the rival's right up the road here, and it's fun. I'll tell you that. I'm sure you've heard about it. But they've kind of kicked in the door a little bit on behalf of the American Conference. But conference-wise, what is it going to take, do you think, to get somebody up there to the top of the top, maybe even catch a glimpse and have a chance to legitimately get into that playoff one day? Yeah,
I don't think it's that far away. I think the respect, and I can just speak for myself, being at Clemson, being in the ACC, the respect that we have for the American Conference and the successful teams, and there's a lot of great coaches, a lot of great players. Obviously, UCF had some success in defeating Auburn in a bowl game. That was a great step for the conference. And so, for me, I don't think it's that far away. I think, obviously, the scheduling, I think, is important. I'm really excited about some of our non-conference games that we have upcoming, and some of the teams that will be coming to Ray J in the near future. So there's no doubt that I think that there's a potential for that. Right now, I'm just kind of getting started and want to learn a little bit more about my team, where we are now, but eventually we're going to get into those conversations.
Finally, we think of Clemson football, what we know today, and I enjoyed that championship game at Ray J, by the way. That was a great finish. But you were part of some humble times for Coach Swinney, and it wasn't just Clemson as we know it today. What was it like to build a program, have that faith, kind of stay on the path and follow what you believe in?
Yeah, there's no doubt that, I would not trade the last 12 years experience for anything. I still remember the day that Coach Swinney got the interim head coaching job. There was something that went across the TV ticker that 0 of the last 29 midseason interim head coaches went on to be named full-time head coach. So he literally went from those odds to now, what he's built at Clemson. And, it's one thing to watch it from afar. It's another thing to kind of be in the driver's seat and be able to experience that. And there's no doubt there's a lot of similarities for where I see our program right now at South Florida to where we were at Clemson in that 2008, 2009 time period. So for me, I know what it looks like. I know what it doesn't. And I think it's just a matter of time of being able to kind of bring and communicate what we want to do here, bring that attitude of belief, bring the standard, best is the standard in everything that we do, and really kind of become internally focused on, ourselves and how we do each thing that we do, whether it's in the academics or on the practice field, in the weight room. Those are some of the things that really we got locked in and focused on at Clemson in the beginning to really build it into what it is today.